Hello, Operations Management students. Welcome to part 2 of Chapter 9. In our last video, I ended with this problem for you to complete. You were to complete and calculate the unit, line, and order fill rates from the information given. Here are the answers. So unit fill, number of units delivered, divided by the total units ordered, gives you 95.5. Line fill, and that would be the total complete order lines delivered divided by the total order lines, so 92.18. And then the order fill rate would be the 425 orders delivered divided by the 500 orders received. When you do these problems, your rates will never exceed 100%, so that's one check. And then just make sure that you read and get the correct information for what you're solving. One of the metrics in measuring customer service management is service reliability, with the goal being the perfect order. So service reliability is the performance of all order-related activities error-free. So the perfect order would be delivered without failure in any order attribute, such as completeness, was it delivered on time, was it damage-free, and was all of the order documentation correct. Let's say that a company measured that 97% of the time their orders were complete, on time, damage-free, and documentation was correct. We can multiply 97% by each of those attributes, so you'd multiply 97% by itself 4 times, and we would get a service reliability of 88.5%. Now, we could find out that maybe these numbers were different than 97%, and they could all be different. But the way that you calculate service reliability is you multiply the percentages by each other to come up with the service reliability percentage. So far we've been talking about the base of the triangle, basic service, and in that level, customer service involves specifying the firm's commitment to availability, getting the product when and where the customer wants it, operational performance, and reliability. So that's what we use to set standards. The fundamental question is, how much basic service should the operational system provide? In other words, what is the base amount needed to satisfy the customer? And from the past, we've studied this concept that in order to earn some business, we may need to meet the customer's bare minimum requirements to be a qualifier, to even be considered. But if we want to win them, we have to differentiate and give them a reason to choose us over another company. And then if we, don't meet their qualification standards, we're going to lose the order, but we may lose them as a customer. So in answering the question, how much basic service should the operational system provide, we certainly need to look at our competition. We need to look at our overall company strategy and what resources we have available. And then also, and probably most importantly, listen to the customer to find out what their expectations are to achieve customer satisfaction. Here's a question for you to think about. Why may comparing service levels to competitors be a faulty benchmark? Hopefully you've thought about that, but one possible problem is maybe all of your competitors are lousy at service. And so, if you're comparing your company to another company and all of you are lousy, you may be missing the mark with your customer. So thus far, we've been focused on basic service, what it takes just to earn an order. The next level of customer service is customer satisfaction, and then we will also talk about customer success. So for customer satisfaction, think of it as a variety or a wheel of things that we need to do. So we're going to unpack each of these expectations, but here's another question for you to think about. How may the customer's expectations differ from the organization's? And how could a company get a true picture of customer expectations? Well, hopefully you've thought about that. It's always better to ask than to assume. So you want to continually communicate with your customers and find out what their expectations are so that you know for certain what they are looking for. So customer satisfaction, the second level on the pyramid, is meeting or exceeding customer expectations, including reliability, and that's basically performing as you promise, doing what you say you will do. I was at a workshop about 2 weeks ago, and one of the things that came out in that was how unusual it is for businesses just to do what they say they're going to do. It's becoming unique to have businesses actually perform and do what they say they're going to do, and those that deliver on their promises tend to have good reputations and repeat business. Responsiveness, being prompt to reply and resolve any type of issue. Access, just being easy to find, easy to communicate with, getting back with people, and that kind of goes with the next one, communication. Being proactive, if you've got an unexpected delay or an issue, being proactive to notify your customer rather than having them wonder or even complain about not being informed. And then credibility, being believable and honest, is another part of customer satisfaction. Security, making sure that you take care of customers' confidential information. That could be technological. It could also just be paperwork. It could be, when I was in the banking industry, just not gossiping about customers, but keeping their financial information confidential. Courtesy, respect is a big deal. Competence, just being able to meet their needs. And then tangible, such as physical appearance of your facilities and your personnel, making sure that it's an inviting place, a place that looks professional, and knowing the customer, being responsive to the unique customer needs that they have. Not surprising, oftentimes there are gaps that occur between what customers expect and what we deliver. And these gaps can occur for different reasons. Knowledge. Maybe we think we know what the customer needs, but we really don't fully know what they expect. So there's a knowledge gap. It could be a standards gap between what our level of quality is compared to what the customer expects. Could be a performance gap between standard and actual performance. Maybe we didn't deliver on time, or maybe our order wasn't complete like we thought it was. And then communication. Maybe the customer expects us to communicate more often than what we do, and therefore there's a dissatisfaction that occurs because they feel like they're in the dark. And then perception. What is the customer's perception about us, and what is our actual performance? And finally, satisfaction gaps between what the customer's expectations are and what we deliver. So here's an equation for you to look at and think about. A happy customer does not necessarily equal a satisfied or loyal customer. Why is that? A customer may be happy, but as soon as they become dissatisfied or another provider enters the market that offers slightly better price, slightly better service, we may lose that customer. So just because they're happy now doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be loyal, or does not necessarily mean that they're totally satisfied. Finally, we move to the pinnacle of the triangle, and that is customer success, and that's where we assist customers in meeting their objectives. In other words, it's more about them than it is about us. And customer success requires a supplier to have long-term focus. It's a relationship. It's not just an order. You see it more as a partnership. You want to gain comprehensive knowledge of your customers' needs. How can we better serve them? How can we innovate? How can we develop new products and services that will help them grow? We consider the customer's customers. So not only our immediate customer, but what could improve the relationship between our customer and their final customer. And we adapt manufacturing and distribution. There's a great case in our book, take a look at it, page 322, about Procter & Gamble's new service program. A great way to manage customer relationship is to use technology programs, CRM programs, so that you know and keep data up to date on your customers. And this is also good as you have personnel turnover, change of employees, sales reps, and that kind of thing. If you've got all that information captured in a customer relationship management system, it makes it much easier to continue relationships with your customers. To bring this lesson home, we've been talking about 3 levels of customer management: basic service, customer satisfaction, and then customer success. And the question might be, well, why don't we try to shoot for customer success with all of our customers? And the reason is time and money. Generally, you'll be able to put your customers into one of these 4 quadrants. The ones that you want to aim for customer success generate high revenues and high profits for you. So obviously they're going to get the most attention from you because they are your prime customers. The ones that generate low revenue but high profit, probably going to offer them basic service or customer satisfaction. The ones that high revenue but low profit, they must do a lot of volume with you, also probably going to offer them high basic service or customer satisfaction level service. Here's where you got to pay attention. The ones that generate very low revenue and also are not very profitable, you really got to look at this and say, do we want to keep doing business with them? Because they're taking a lot of our time and effort, but not generating much in the way of sales nor profit. It's really easy, especially when you start out in business, to go after every piece of business, but you want to stay away from this quadrant because it will drain you, your time, your energy, and will result in very little revenue and income, net profit for your company. So I hope this little session was helpful, and make sure you review Moodle for your assignment and quiz and other resources. Thank you.